genetic engineering. Genetic engineering has revolutionized the field of research and technology, allowing scientists to manipulate genes and create modified organisms. However, this powerful tool is not without its challenges and limitations. Ethical concerns. One of the main challenges of genetic engineering is the ethical concerns surrounding the modification of organisms. Some argue that playing with the building blocks of life raises moral questions as it involves altering the natural order of things. The use of genetic engineering in humans raises particularly sensitive ethical issues, such as the potential for designer babies or the creation of genetically superior individuals. Unintended consequences. Another challenge is the potential for unintended consequences. Genetic engineering involves altering the DNA of organism, but our understanding of the complex interaction within DNA is still complete. This lack of knowledge can lead to unintended changes in the modified organism, affecting their health, behavior, or even their ability to reproduce. These unintended consequences can have far-reaching effects on ecosystem and biodiversity. Challenge and limitation. Risk of unintended consequences. Lack of complete understanding of DNA interaction. Ethical concerns raising moral questions about altering natural order. Regulatory difficulties, complex and changing regulation regarding genetic engineering. Regulatory difficulties also pose challenges to genetic engineering. The field is subject to complex and changing regulations as governments and international organizations struggle to keep up with advancements in technology. This can create barriers to the development and approval of genetically engineered products, limiting their potential benefits. In conclusion, while genetic engineering offers immense potential for scientific research and technological advancements, it is not without its challenges and limitations. Ethical concerns, the risk of unintended consequences, and regulatory difficulties can all hinder the progress and widespread adoption of genetic engineering. It is important for scientists, policymakers, and society as a whole to carefully consider the implication of genetic engineering and navigate these challenges responsibly. Ethical and legal constraints. To ensure the safe and responsible use of genetic engineering in agriculture, regulatory frameworks are in place in many countries. These frameworks assess the potential risk and benefits of genetically modified crops and establish guidelines for their development, field testing, and commercialization. Ongoing research, public engagement, and transparent communication are crucial. Communication are crucial to maintain public trust and ensure the effective governance of this technology. The field of genetic engineering and modification is a rapidly advancing area of research that has the potential in to that has the potential to revolutionize biotechnology and medicine. However, with such advancement come ethical and legal dilemma that need to be carefully considered and regulated. One of the main ethical concerns surrounding genetic engineering is the potential for misuse or abuse of this technology. The ability to modify genes and DNA has the potential to create new and powerful organisms, but it also raises a question about the consequences of such modification. There is a need for careful consideration and regulation to ensure that genetic engineering is used responsibly and for the benefits of society as a whole. In addition to the ethical concerns, there are also legal constraints that govern the use of genetic engineering technology. In many countries, there are strict regulations in place to control the use of genetic engineering and to ensure that it is used only for legitimate purposes. These regulations often require researchers and scientists to obtain appropriate permission and licenses before conducting any genetic engineering experiments. Another important legal consideration is related to the ownership and patenting of genetic potential material. Patenting of genetic material. As genetic engineering becomes more common and widespread, there is a need to address issue of intellectual property and ownership rights. This is the particularly relevant when it comes to patenting specific genes or DNA sequences, as well as the regulating as well as the resulting products or organisms that are derived from genetic engineering. In conclusion, while the field of genetic engineering and biotechnology offer great promise and potential, it is important to also consider the ethical and legal implications. By carefully addressing and regulating these constraints, we can ensure that the genetic engineering is used responsibly and for the betterment of society. Genetic engineering, modification research, biotechnology, technology, genes, DNA. Unintended consequences of genetic modification. In the field of genetic engineering and biotechnology, scientists manipulate the DNA of organisms to create desirable traits or to study biological processes. However, the results of genetic modification are not always as anticipated, and unintended consequences can arise. Alteration of genes. One unintended consequence of genetic modification is the alteration of genes that are crucial for an organism's normal functioning. When scientists edit or insert genes, they may be inadvertently disrupt other genes or regulatory elements, leading to unpredictable effects. This can result in the manifestation of unexpected traits or the malfunctioning of vital biological processes. For example, a study on genetically modified mosquitoes aimed to control disease transmission by making them unable to reproduce. However, the altered insects showed increased susceptibility to other infections, resulting in unforeseen ecological consequences. Unintended environmental impact. Another unintended consequence of genetic modification is the potential environmental impact. Genetically modified organisms introduced into natural ecosystem can interact with native species in unforeseen ways, leading to ecological disruption. The spread of modified genes through crossbreeding or reproduction can have far-reaching consequences for biodiversity and ecosystem balance. Research is going on. Research is going ongoing. Research is ongoing to assess and mitigate the risk associated with the release of genetically modified organisms into the environment. The development of stringent containment. The development of stringent containment of measures and extensive environmental impact assessments is essential to minimize the potential unintended consequences of genetic modification. In conclusion, while genetic engineering and biotechnology have the potential to revolutionize various fields, the intended consequences of genetic modification cannot be overlooked. It is crucial to continue research and development in the field while also carefully considering the potential risk and ensuring responsible use of this technology. Public perception of genetic engineering. Genetic engineering and biotechnology are rapidly evolving fields of technology that have the potential to revolutionize many aspects of our lives. However, the public perception of genetic engineering remains a topic of debate and discussion. While some of people embrace the possibilities that genetic modification of genes and DNA research offer, others are skeptical and even fearful of the implication. Benefits of genetic engineering. Proponents Proponents of genetic engineering argue that it holds tremendous potential for improving human health and well being. By modifying genes, scientists can potentially find new treatments and cures for diseases that have historically been difficult to treat. They believe that genetic engineering can help eradicate genetic disorder and improve agricultural practices to increase crop yields and address issues of global food security. Fears and concerns. On the other hand, there are concerns about the ethical and moral implications of genetic engineering. Critics worry that the ability to modify genes could be misused, leading to designer babies or eliminating certain traits from the gene pool. They also express concerns about the potential for unforeseen consequences of genetic modification and the power that this technology could give to a select few. Additionally, there is a lack of understanding among the general public about the complexities of genetic engineering and biotechnology. This can lead to misconception and misinformation, further fueling fears and skepticism. It is essential to educate the public and engage in open and transparent discussion to address these concerns and help shape perception of genetic engineering. Public engagement and awareness. Efforts are being made to bridge the gap between scientists, policymakers, and the public to foster a better understanding of genetic engineering. Public engagement initiatives such as community forums and educational campaigns aim to provide accurate information and create a space for dialogue. This allows the public to voice their concern, ask questions, become an informed participant in the decision making processes surrounding genetic engineering and biotechnology. The role of media in shaping public perception should not be underestimated. Responsible journalism that presents balanced views and provides accurate information plays a critical role in building public trust and dispelling misconceptions. As genetic engineering continues to advance, public perception will play a crucial role in determining the future directions of this technology. By addressing fears and misconceptions and fostering a transparent and inclusive and inclusive dialogue, we can ensure that the genetic engineering is used responsibly and for the greater benefit of society. Educating the masses on genetic engineering. Educating the masses on genetic engineering in today's rapidly advancing world of biotechnology and genetic research. It is imperative that the general public is educated about the principles and implications of genetic engineering. With the development of new technology and techniques, the ability to manipulate genes and alter organism DNA has become increasingly accessible. This has profound implications for fields such as medicine, agriculture, and environmental conservation. Genetic engineering involves the modification of an organism genetic material by introducing or removing specific genes. This process allows scientists to manipulate traits, create new varieties of plants, animals, and even cure genetic disease. It is a powerful technology that holds immense potential for the future of science and medicine. However, with this power comes the responsibility to educate the masses on the ethical, social, and environmental implication of genetic engineering. The public should understand the risk and benefits associated with this technology, as well as the potential consequences for biodiversity and natural ecosystems. It is essential to provide accurate and understandable information to dispel any misconception or fears surrounding genetic engineering. Public engagement and education programs can help raise awareness and facilitate informed discussions about the potential implication and limitation of this technology. Additionally, educating the masses on genetic engineering will also foster a scientifically literate society. Understanding the basic principles of genetics and biotechnology can empower individuals to make informed decisions about their own health and well being. It can also inspire young minds to pursue careers in science and contribute to future breakthroughs and discoveries. Therefore, it is crucial that governments, education institutions, and scientific organizations invest in public outreach and educational initiatives to ensure the general public is well informed about genetic engineering and its implications. By doing so, we can promote responsible and ethical use of this technology and harness its full potential for the benefit of society and the environment. Public attitude and acceptance biotechnology. In modern society, the field of biotechnology plays a significant role in shaping scientific advancement and innovation. The ability to alter, manipulate, and engineering genes has revolutionized various industries and has the potential to solve many challenges faced by humanity. However, public attitude and acceptance towards biotechnology greatly influence its progress and implementation. Understanding the technology. One of the primary reason behind public debates and different attitude towards biotechnology is a lack of understanding. The concept of modifying genetic materials such as DNA can sound daunting and even questionable ethically questionable to those who are not familiar with the intricacies of genetic engineering. It is vital for scientists and educators to bridge this knowledge gap and increase public awareness about the potential benefits and limitations of biotechnology, ethics, and controversies. The field of biotechnology is not without its fair share of ethical consideration and controversies. Some individuals raise concern about the potential risk and unintended consequences of modifying organism. The ethical question of playing God and tampering with natural process is often debated. Public attitude toward Public attitudes towards biotechnology can be heavily influenced by these ethical concerns, and further deliberation and regulation are necessary to address them effectively. However, it is important to note that public attitude towards biotechnology are not exclusively negative. Many recognize the potential of biotechnology to address pressing global challenges, including food insecurity, climate change, and healthcare. Benefits such as increased crop yields, the development of new medicines, and the potential to tackle diseases are all compelling reasons for widespread acceptance of biotechnology. The society becomes more educated, informed about biotechnology and its applications. Public attitude are likely to evolve. The role of science communication and public engagement in shaping public opinion cannot be underestimated. By addressing concern, providing accurate information, and promoting open dialogue, the acceptance of biotechnology can continue to grow, fostering the development of innovative solutions for better future. Continuing role of genetic engineering in science. In the field of genetic engineering, the manipulation of genes has become an essential tool for scientists and researchers. Genetic engineering involves the modification of an organism DNA to produce desired traits or characteristics. This technology has revolutionized the field of biotechnology and has opened up new horizons for scientific research. Advancements in technology. With advancement in technology, genetic engineering has become more precise and efficient. Scientists can now isolate specific genes, manipulate them, and insert them into the DNA of other organisms. This has allowed for the creation of genetically modified organisms that possess desired traits such as increased resistance to pests, or improved nutritional content. Implication in biotechnology research. The role of genetic engineering in biotechnology research cannot be understood. It has enabled scientists to develop new medicines, improve crop yields, and create innovative solutions to various problems. For example, the production of insulin using genetically engineered bacteria has transformed the treatment of diabetes. Genetic engineering has also played a crucial role in the development of vaccine, enabling the rapid response to infection diseases. Furthermore, genetic engineering has opened up possibilities opened up, opened up possibilities for genetic modification of organisms to produce biofuels and contribute to sustainable energy solution. By modifying the genes of bacteria and algae, researchers are exploring ways to produce environmentally friendly fuels. The future of genetic engineering. As technology continues to advance, the role of genetic engineering in science will only grow more significant. Scientists will continue to explore the potential of genetic engineering to improve human health, enhance agriculture, and address environmental challenges. However, it is essential to consider the ethical and social implications of these advancements and ensure responsible use of genetic engineering technology. Thank you very much. Please subscribe, like, and comment.